Hi everyone, welcome, thank you for joining me. My name is Barry and I'm from Mitosu Crafts. As I said, thank you for joining me today for this week's Funfold Friday video tutorial. For today I'm going to be showing you how to make a, what do we call it, a double corner pop-up card is what I'm going to be showing you how to create today. It's very simple card to do, and I'm going to be using it with the what we've got here, the Kindest Gnomes Stamp Set, along with the designer series paper and some other dies as well. So there's a bit of die cutting going on and a bit of scoring, and we're going to create a lovely double pop-up card in the center. If I've got time, I'm going to show you two variations of it, one with a pop-up, one without, so then you've got the option of then doing whatever one takes your fancy. So yes, so that is what we are going to do today. So remember, we are independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, so you can purchase from us via our online shop. So links to our online shop can be found down below in our description, or over here you've got our website as well, just down there. Head over to mitosucrafts.com and all links can be found on there, as well as classes, as well as more inspiration. So do go and check that out as well if you would like to. So yeah, on that note, I think I'm just going to crack on and we will do today's pop-up card for you. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Okay, so as mentioned, I'm going to be using the Kindest Gnomes Stamp Set here. This is a really cute stamp set. I think it's in the July to December mini catalogue, so it's kind of like it's geared up towards the Christmas thing. It's got a Christmas sentiment in here, but it doesn't necessarily mean it does. I don't think this set actually is fully Christmas. So depending on how you want to colour this, then you can use it for all year round. So your kindness does not go unnoticed. You know me so well, so cute. Warm wishes. And you can probably easily put some sentiments on, happy birthday sentiments on here. There's so much you can do with this one. So depending on what papers and how you design it, it's not just for Christmas. It comes with these lovely dies as well. Now at the moment we haven't yet done them all out, but you can do them. So you've got the cutouts for all of the gnomes here. You've also got the mushroom here as well. And you've also got ones where you can build up some gnomes. So you've kind of like got the feet, you've got the hat, you've got the beard, you've got the nose, you've got the mushrooms here. You've got some grass coming out. So there's all sorts you can do with this one here. So there's a lot of variety with that one. I'm going to keep this very simple for you for this particular video, because obviously it's more of the fun fold which I want to focus on. So that's what you've got. So again, really lovely. And I'm going to also be using it with the stylish shape dies as well for a banner on this. But if I may, I can say if I've got time, I'm going to be using the what are they called? I may use the beautiful shape dies as well. As for the paper, this is the paper which I'm going to be using here. Okay, let me just get the correct name here. Storybook Gnomes is the name of this designer series paper, and these are the pieces of paper which I'm going to be using today. So not all this, I'm going to be using this one for die cutting. So you've got this lovely mushrooms here. So if you don't want to do some colouring, you've got lots you can do. Okay, and obviously it's double-sided, so you've got this lovely kind of scene on the back here. You've got the gnomes right here. Again, the dies coordinate with this, and you've got this lovely pattern on the back. You have got a nice blue cold scenery bit of paper here with some lovely snowflakes on the back. And you've got these mushrooms, this one, and you've got the snowflakes on the back here as well. So again, so you've got some lovely patterns. So they're the 4 pieces of paper which I'm going to be using. Obviously I've already gone and cut mine down to size already. Alright, so as we've got our pieces of paper here. So I've got bits here which I'm going to be ready for cutting out. You can see I've already started doing it. I've got my designer series paper cut down to size. I've got my gnome ready to be cut out, and I've got my banner ready to be cut out, which is from the stylish shape dies. Alright, so let's just go through some measurements for you. I've got them in inches and in centimetres, so you may want to pause and do a screenshot in a moment. I'll just go through the US. I'm going to be working in centimetres, but I will give you the inches as well. So let's do that one first. So if you're going to do this in inches, you need a 4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock, and you want to score it in half at 5.5. On the score line, you want to find the 2-inch mark, and then you want to mark down from the score line at 1.5 inches. So score line here, mark down 1.5 inches there, and mark down 1.5 inches from both sides of the score line. That's that one. Your designer series paper needs to be 3 3/4 by 5 5/16, and you will need 2 of those, or 3 of those, depending on how you're going to do it. Okay, if you're going to do this in centimeters, you are going to want a card base which is measuring 10 centimeters by 28 centimeters. You want to score it at 14 centimeters down here, down the center. Find the center point at 5 centimeters, and then mark at 4 centimeters from the score line down and up on both sides. Okay, that will make more sense in a moment. And depending on what we're going to do, some silver scrap paper. So screenshot that if you want. That is the inches, and there is the centimeters. Okay. Excuse me. So that's my piece already. So this is my centimeter piece. So this is 10 centimeters by 28 centimeters. Let's score this in half at 14 centimeters. Okay, and I said to find the center point at 5. So what you want to do now, you don't have to do this. It depends on if you want it as a guidance. But if you find the center point at 5, and then just kind of just pop a little bit of a notch, a little bit of a mark just down there, just so you can just see where that part is. Now we want to then go 4 centimeters down from the score line. So remember, this is at 14 centimeters. So what we want to do is we want to take this down to basically 10 centimeters, and then pop a little score line or a mark, and a little score line and a mark either side, and then do it on the opposite side here as well. So line the score line up on at 14, take it down to 10 centimeters, which will be for 4 centimeters from the center score line. Pop a little bit of a mark down here, and the same over there as well. Okay, so that's exactly the same with the inches, just use your inches. So you've got that, and then you've gone down 4 and 4, 4 and 4. Now what you want to do is you want to connect this score line, this mark here with this mark, and that mark with that one there. So opposites to opposites with the scoring tool. So line it up with your scoring tool, pop it in, line up the 2 marks in the channel, and then score 3. Now if you've done this correctly, what should happen is the 2 lines should connect on that center score mark which you've done. If they don't, then you've gone wrong somewhere. Okay, but what they should do is they should connect right here. So if they don't, let me just show you. There was an example I had of one, if I've got it here handy. If they don't, then it looks completely and utterly wrong. It doesn't quite. I went wrong on what I corrected it eventually, but then it went wrong on one point. So that's why, if you're unsure to start with, that's why you want to pop your center mark in here, just so you can make sure you've connected everything correctly. If it isn't intersecting here, something's gone wrong, to double check it. Good, so that's that one. Don't fold and burnish yet. What you want to do is take some designer series paper. So I've got my 2 designer series paper here. So these are measuring 9.5 by 13.5 centimeters. I've got 3 of these for the first card. Okay, this is going to be my front. And these 2 are going to be my insides. Okay, so we're going to work on the front first. Now, I couldn't work an easy way of doing this. So sort of like saying, oh well, come down X amount here and then pop a mark and then chop it off. The easiest way I'm going to do is I'm going to grab myself a pen. This is an erasable pen, so I'm going to do this on here, and it will be a bit easier for you to see. And I'm going to pop a little mark in the center point, lining it up with the center of that score line there. And then I'm going to pop a mark here, which is where that line just comes down, and where this line here just comes down, like so. And what I've done is I've kind of got my matten layer as I want it, and then what I've done is I've just come down from the score line, so almost about the same distance of what the layer is, about what this gap is. And then when I cut this, it's then going to then give me that white border around it. So do that on the other one as well. We do that on all 3 of these. So line this up where you want it to be. Pencil mark here, mark there, and mark there. And I'll do it on this one as well. So this one will be the easiest one to see. That one there, that one, and that one. Okay, and then what we want to do is we then want to then cut these. So let's start with the one which is easier to see. So you can see I've got my mark here, mark, and my little mark over here. We're going to cut from that mark to the corner to that one, and that one to that one there. There we go, so that's one, and then do that on all three of those. There we have it. So we have got these pieces right here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to stick these down. So we can, I'm going to use this one for my front. Like that, and we'll stick that one down. It may be a little bit off, but it's as good as it's gonna be. If you've done your measuring correctly, it should look pretty good. That's it, yeah, I'm happy with that. So that's my outside, and then this is going to be my inside bottom. So I'm going to pop this one right here. Just pay attention to the triangular bit at the top here. Maybe just want to just spread out the ink a little bit, but I do have a problem with it sometimes sticking up. So just do make sure that you pop some glue on that triangle point, but don't. It's probably best to with your finger just to spread it out, so as you push it out, it doesn't splodge out at the top. And if you have got any marks on your paper like I've got there, then you can then just go ahead and just erase it, like so. So that's that one, and then this is going to be my top, and I'm going to pop this one on this side over here. That's it, and we'll just pop that one like this. Okay, so that there is all good. So that there is my front, my inside bottom, and my inside top. Okay, so let's do that. I'm just going to let those dry for a moment, and then I'm going to do some scoring. Whilst that's drying, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping and die cutting. Okay, so I've got my gnome right here. I have also got my mushrooms, and I've got my banner. So first of all, let's do my banner. Okay, I've already gone ahead and cut that, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to stamp. So I'm going to be using, so I haven't put them on, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So just going to ink this up with some memento, and then I'm just going to then line this over here and then stamp this down and hope that I've got that straight. And I think that's pretty good. So little tip with this, I tried to do this first of all when I did it, and I did it on a smaller block, and I tried to line it up and it come out wonky. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a bigger block because I can see through it a bit better, and then it gives me a little bit more manoeuvrability. Smaller block, I struggle to do it. So if you're struggling to do that on these bigger ones, on these ones as well, and you're on a print which is already die cut, maybe just go with a slightly bigger block, and then you've just got a little bit, you can see through it, you can see where you're stamping, and it will be easier once you've got your sticker on as well. Okay, but that's just a little bit of a tip. Maybe just go with a bigger block would help you. So that there is my sentiment. I'm just going to do some die cutting. So let's grab the gnome dies. So we're going to need the mushroom for one of these here, and we're going to need, not that one, it must be that one there. And this one is going to be for that one. So we're just going to go ahead and die cut those out. To make it easier for going through the machine, sometimes it's better to pick what mushroom you want and then cut it out. And then you haven't got to battle with a big piece of paper through your machine. Alright, so let's do these two right here. I've got a little bit of glue stuck to my finger somewhere, and I keep on sticking to everything. So let's just cut these out. I love a paper when you got coordinating dies with it. I think it just makes one. If you want to sit there and you want to colour all of these in, then sit there and colour them all in to your heart's content. Okay, if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do, and you can. That's the best thing about it, you can do that. But if you don't, and you've got the papers, then you can just sit there and then you can die cut them out. Okay, so if you want quick cards, these papers are perfect, because look, you've got it like that and it cuts out perfectly. So which is why I really like this. I love a set which coordinates with papers, but then also gives you the ability to then use them and then do them again. They're not redundant once you've lost the paper, or it doesn't mean you've got to buy more paper. As gorgeous as the paper isn't going to be around forever. Okay, but the stamp set can be. Stamp set's around, and as long as you can colour it, it is available. So just look at that. I think that's cute. So we've got those two right there. Got the name for his mushroom house. So good. So let's just pop that to one side. So that's pretty much this card done for the decoration on this one. So what we're going to do is we are going to take this again. That's had a bit of time to dry. All right. We're going to do the folding now, and then we'll stick everything down. So what we want to do is we want to fold it in half and burnish. Okay. So that's that. So like you would do a normal tent fold card. That's all it is. Then what we want to do is we then want to come out, just open it up and then kind of push in and push. So you have to push down on that score line, and these want to then go in on itself, and then naturally just gently fold it over and push. And do the same the other side. Push down on that score line, and then just naturally, just gently push it in, and then push that down. If it's a little bit off, just manipulate it a little bit, and then hold it down, and then fold and burnish again once it's in place, so that you're folding and burnishing those lines in. Okay, and then just crease these up on the inside. Like that, and there you have your pop-up. Alright, so I just realised I actually needed 2 mushrooms, so let's have another mushroom right here. I'm going to take this dark mushroom, this nice dark red one. just die cut that one out quickly again. Because I need one for the front, and then I need one for your pop-up on the inside. So I'm keeping this very, very simple for you. But hopefully once you know how to do the fold, you can go to town on this and you can then do what you want. So if you do, we would love to see what you actually create. So do please share with us. If you post it on social media, tag us at Mitosu Crafts, especially like on Instagram. We will then see it. So if you do see it, or pop it onto if you're a member of our Crafty Stampers Facebook page, go on there and post your pictures in that private group with all of our followers in there. We would love to see it. It's a safe place for you to share your stuff. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to pop the red one on the front because I think the blue one just kind of like blends in a little bit. So I'm going to do the red one on here, and I'm going to use some dimensionals. So have I got some big dimensionals? We can use those. So let's just snip these away. And over there, so take your pick tool. We can then just remove these backing papers. And you can see, again, by popping the lines on the back, just helps identify what papers are still got the backing paper on, especially when you've got a busy bit of paper. It just helps make them stand out just that little bit more. So just going to pop this on nice and simple on the front. Again, do what you want with this one. You can pop a sentiment on the front if you want to, but what we're going to do is we're going to open this up, and we've got these two pieces here which are going to create your pop-up. We can pop a little bit of glue on the base of this mushroom, and then we want to stick that down just on the base of this. Stick this down just on that part, and then the same with the gnome. Some glue on the feet, and we'll pop him or her centrally over on that side over there. Take your sentiment one more time. We will then grab some more dimensionals, and just stick that on like so. And then that one can then, I thought, look quite nice sitting up the top like that. There. Alright, and then that closes up like so. Stands, looks really nice on the side, but as soon as the person opens it up, you get the mushroom and you get the gnome pop up on the inside. If you're using anything bigger, this fits in quite nicely. Just be aware of it before you stick it down. Make sure it doesn't interfere with the other side. So if you're using anything bigger, the gnome, if you fit the mushroom in centrally on this one, it's going to work perfectly. It's not going to interfere. But if you're going with anything bigger, or you're going to put anything over this side, just be aware that it doesn't interfere when it closes. So that's that one. So pop up. So that can either be displayed like that. Okay, because there's a little bit of height, it may just need pushing down just to help it stand up a little bit for the recipient. Okay, but it does stand up, or they can then display it like that. Okay, and then it sits up, so they can go up against a wall or rest up against something on the side, and then that actually pops up. So that there is how it's going to then sit on the mantelpiece. So a really, really nice card, a very, very simple pop-up. So we're calling it a double corner pop-up card, and that one. All right, so that's that. Now I'm going to show you another version of this, okay, without a pop-up, but I liked it and I wanted to show it. This was my original one, which I was going to show you. I liked it, and then I thought, no, I'm going to do it with a pop-up on the inside, but I've got time. You don't mind sitting with me, do you? So you'd like me to show it, but this obviously has got the pop-up. It's going to have the same thing. The whole card is going to be exactly the same. So make your card base as you did beforehand. pop your score lines in like you did beforehand. And then on this one I've only got 2 pieces, so I've got my centre part and I've got my front part. Now the reason I haven't stuck my front part on yet is I just wanted to just emphasise something to you. So we're going to stick this down, but we're going to cut an aperture out of this. What we need to make sure we do is we need to make sure we pop glue all in the centre. Just don't go around the outside, make sure you get glue in the centre. Otherwise when you cut an aperture out of this, it's going to be loose. Okay, so make sure that you do put glue in the centre parts. Okay, so the card base is exactly the only difference is I'm not doing the top on this particular one. I've also gone ahead and I've gone and cut myself out, done my Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I've got my little gnome right there. So the difference with this one is we are going to use the Beautiful Shape dies. And these have got some lovely, they coordinate with a stamp set as well, the Hello Beautiful stamp set, but they've got these lovely hexagons in here. Okay, so we're going to take that one, and we're going to take the next one, maybe, let's double check, speed. No, that's too small, there we go. So it's depends on how you want to look at this one here. If we're going to go from the top down, we're going to take the largest one and then the third one down. So 1, 2, 3. 1 being the largest and then working down that way. So we're going to take number 1 and number 3 is what we're going to take. And we're just going to pop that to one side. We're going to bring our cutting machine in once more. And I'm going to cut an aperture out of this. So cut an aperture out of the large one first. And I'm just using some of the silver foils. It's a nice sturdy, nice bit of foil. I think it just pops on the silver. It's going to pop against that blue, the silver. Okay. So let's just cut that out. So that's what we've got right here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to then take the next one down, which was number 3 in it, and we're going to line it up in there, and then we're going to cut another one out. And we're going to create a little bit of a frame. Okay. Just pay attention to it and make sure it doesn't move. Stick it down with some tape if necessary, but just pop that through and then die cut that. There we have it, and we've created ourselves this little frame right here. So pop that to one side. Then what we want to do, some more die cutting, but I just want to show you what I'm going to do first. So we're keeping this flat to start off with. What we want to do is I just want to take the one which we just used for the center for creating this one, and we're going to pop that in, and we're going to then just position this one down like so in here. Okay, and then we're going to run that through the machine, and we're going to create the aperture. This is why it's important that you put the glue all the way in that middle part, because we're going to cut it out again. So pop that in like that, line that up nice and straight, come down, you want to come down probably around about a couple of centimetres or half an inch from that corner part. Make sure that's down, because if you do stick on anything on the inside, then it's going to potentially come down. So the lower you come down, the more opportunities you've got of sticking stuff on the inside. The higher you go, the less opportunities you've got, because it's going to show it through. And I'll show you that. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So just going to run that one through. We position that centrally. Now you're going through cardstock and you're going through designer series paper, so you may want to just do this a couple of times through. And that pops out nicely. So you've now got yourself this aperture here. So if we fold this over like we did the first one, so we're folding over the top, and then we then again push in on that score line and then manipulate it so it folds nicely, and then do the other side, push in and then manipulate and then turn it into a point. That point will form. Okay. And then just manipulate this here if need be. There we have it. Okay, so you've got yourself your aperture here. We will take our little frame which we've created, and we're going to take this on some mini dimensionals. Take your big tool, that's it. And we're just going to pop some of these mini dimensionals around this frame here. So the more you do on this, the better it's gonna adhere. Okay, and then just take your backing off. And then stick that over your frame like that. And then we've got ourselves a nice little window looking into that lovely garden, your mushroom garden at the back. Okay, so what I meant by if you do something on pop-up on the inside, if you pop something on there, when that closes down, you've got to be aware that it's going to then show up on the inside. So this aperture one is a little bit harder if you want to create a pop-up on here, but if you just want to have the different size, different shape card to give, then I love this option which you've got. What we're going to do is, for decoration, is we're going to pop the lovely little gnome here. We're going to pop this on some dimensionals on the feet, like that, and a little bit of glue. Just pop a little bit of glue on that frame, like so. Take your backing papers off. And then this can go down. Don't want to go too high because you don't want to cover that up. So I'm kind of going down like this. And she can sit right there. A bit of glue on that frame just keeps her in place. And then we will then just take our dimensionals again. Don't want to go dimensionals on the center because it's going to interfere with the gnome here. So we're just going to pop a bit of dimensional on this outside. And that one there goes down like that, down by her feet. And there we have it. We have this one here, a nice aperture card, and then we can open up again, and then you can pop a sentiment on the inside if you want to, or you can just write. Writing these, you're going to probably want to do something on the back here to pop a message on the back if you want to, but I think that one there is a cute little aperture card. So we've got this one here which is no aperture, but we've got the pop-up element on the inside if you want to make that as a pop-up. Okay, if you don't want to make it as a pop-up but you just want this lovely fold, then create this aperture this way here. And I think that one there just looks, I don't know, personally, this is my favourite one. Okay, but I do like the fun aspect of the pop-up on this one right there. So they've got two different things, but I just think I think this one here is my favourite one. I did them in originals. Obviously, I did the original one slightly a different colour mushroom, and the same thing on the inside. Got that like that. And then on my prototype, this one, I used a different different gnome here, one of the shorter ones, and I was able to get the gnome sitting on the kind of standing on the sentiment here, so it kind of looks like a ledge, and that's obviously like that. So that was my two originals, and then we just done it this way here. Just changed the colours on the mushroom here, but I've got a different gnome. Remember, she's a little bit taller, so maybe I should have gone a little bit higher on this one to make the feet sit down on the top of that one, but it still works. So there we have it. There is, what did we call it again? We called it a double corner pop-up fold card. Two versions there for you, one with a pop-up, one without a pop-up. Let us know in the comments what you think of these, and let us know how you ever go. Like I said at the beginning, do share some stuff with us over on Facebook, so go over to search Crafty Stampers, and that's STAMPURRRS. So the purrs is for it's like a cat purring, so if you're looking for it, Crafty Stampers. Okay, or if you tag us anywhere at Mitosu Crafts, if you make any cards which you case from us, we would love to see it. We don't mind you casing anything. If you see us making it, we're happy for you to case it and copy it, and we'd just like to see what you create as well. So there we have it. Let's there we go. Let's go back to my face. You can see me again. So there we have it. There is today's two fun fold cards. I think they look even slightly better. You can see the shape of them a little bit better there. All right, and that one. Oh no, that's the Aperture one. No pop up. And then that one there. Okay. So thank you so much for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed this week's Fun Fold Friday video tutorial. We will see you again very soon. So until next time, take care. See you later. Bye bye.